Hey, good morning everyone. Happy Monday. Start of a new work week. It's 26 degrees outside where I am right now. So winter has finally come here to Northern Virginia, just without the snow. Although my heart goes out to those up in the farther northerly, easterly parts that got dumped with snow over the weekend. And hope that everyone up there is doing fine and can get dug out as best as you can with the circumstances that brings. So today I wanted to continue with a couple points. We're going to have two videos again today. This one I'm going to talk about the fact that we're more than the sum of our parts. So what does that mean? So as a person, there's not just one part of us. There's multiple parts. I know that sounds kind of silly, but let me explain what I mean. So we're mental beings, we're physical beings, we're spiritual beings, we're emotional beings. All of these things together, combined, make us who we really are and make the greatness of what it means to be a human being and our ability to experience life on so many levels. The ability to question, to think, to feel, to analyze, to empathize. There's being a human and being alive is just such an incredible experience, and it's so much fun. And we are so multifaceted that it's really unique. It's really special. But when it comes to transforming our habits, we have to consider the whole person. So as I've mentioned in several past videos, when you're considering your goals, you need to be thinking about, am I focusing on the goals that I should be focusing on in the totality, and what are other areas that I need to work on? So going all the way back to goal setting, we talked about the importance of setting small goals and seeing those goals as stair steps that we climb up. And that's a great place to start, and it's often really good to start with just setting one goal. But then as you go on, you begin to add other goals to that. And this is where I want to talk a little bit about looking at your whole self as a person and thinking about, okay, what do I really want to be as a person? What do I want my life to look like? What do I want to be doing? Because that, as you consider those questions, that's really going to determine your long-range or long-term success in your goals. So, for example, if you want to live a lifestyle of activity, then you have to structure the rest of your life around that habit, and that has to become a core value. Where he's like, all right, I'm a person of activity. I'm a person who gets regular exercise, and I live an active outdoor lifestyle. If you're someone who says, well, I'm sick and tired of being who I am right now, or how I feel like I am right now. Well, what is that? How define for yourself, what are you right now that you don't like being, and what do you want to do to change that? And so you have to think about the bigger perspective of who you are. And like I say, that's going to enter into every area of our life. Let's look at our emotional life. Are there areas in our life, are there relationships in our life? And when it comes to emotions, relationships are primarily the areas that cause us the most challenges. And so, are there relationships in my life that are challenging me, that are drawing my energy, that are just my emotional energy, that are, burdening me, that are frustrating me, that are confusing me, that, are there things that people have said and done in my life that maybe in lies that I'm believing about myself that is continuing to perpetuate a lifestyle of bad habits for me? So that's, one thing you have to consider. We have to look at the spiritual realm. Are there areas in the spiritual where there needs to be an awakening, an opening? There needs to be an opening of the heart to God and to a spiritual life and to spiritual values and principles. Then there's a perspective of the physical as well. What my physical habits are like. And then it goes on into our other areas of our life. My work. What's my attitude towards my work? How do I spend my money? How do I make major life decisions? How do I go through life? Am I just living completely in the moment? Or am I living maybe always completely in the future, somewhat in a fantasy world? Or am I always living in the past as a nostalgic, morose, maybe a bit of a dreamer, or just a negative or a critic. So all these things have to be considered if you really want in your journey to transform and experience transformation from where you are to being a better, happier person down the road. So just keep that in mind, that as you're thinking about these things, you have to look at all of your goals. What all do you want to change? What all do you want to be in the future? And there's so much more that we can say about that, and we'll do that in future videos. But I want to leave you with your thoughts on those things, and let's just start thinking a little deeper than we normally do.